My child, I have a secret about your future that you absolutely need to hear right now, before it's too late. I've been holding on to this, waiting for the perfect moment, because the reward is massive, and you cannot afford to miss this message. Don't skip this. Please stop what you're doing and listen to what I have to say. I have been waiting for this moment to tell you this. It wasn't a mistake that these words found you today. It wasn't a coincidence that your eyes fell on this page at this exact moment in time. I called you here because I need to say something directly that can't wait any longer. It's something that has been building in the background during every season of preparation you've gone through without praise, explanation, or anyone in your life being able to fully understand what you were going through. Your stay here will soon be over. And before those words make you scared, let me finish. That's not what I mean by death. I'm not saying that I'm leaving this world. It's the end of a season, the end of a chapter that has been the most shaping time of your life. The closing of a door that was never meant to stay open forever. And the beginning of something you haven't been able to see from where you have been standing. I'm going to tell you about a change that will happen so completely, and so perfectly timed that when it does, you will look back at the season you are leaving and know exactly why everything had to happen the way it did. You have been preparing for a long time, but you haven't always gotten praise or understanding from the people around you. And you haven't always been able to see proof that what you were going through was making a difference. The silence was broken by your prayer. You believed, and the proof came slowly. I wrote down every step you took, even when your feelings told you to stop. According to James 1:12, blessed is the one who remains steadfast under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life. I love you, child, and you have passed the test. You weren't perfect, but you did your best. Not without tears, but also not going back. Because you were honest and willing to keep going even though it would have been easy to give up. I am telling you now about what is going to happen. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings. It is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. I want to start by talking about how lonely you felt and how quiet it was during this season you've been going through. I know how it felt. I know what it's like to look for help and not find any. You look around at the people who should have been there and find that they weren't there when you needed them the most. It must have been hard to carry what you were carrying around without anyone fully understanding it or letting you know that what you were going through was leading anywhere. Being alone wasn't the same as being abandoned, my beloved. Please take this in with all of your heart. The specific loss of human support that you experienced during that time was not an accident. It wasn't a lack of care for your pain. It was mine. I carefully and purposely took away every layer of false comfort so that what I was building in you could be built on the only base that can hold what is coming. You didn't find out how deep what I had put in you went when there were plenty of people to help you. When being with them was the first thing you reached for, you didn't have to reach for me as quickly. And I needed to act quickly on what I was building. It needed a certain kind of inner growth that can only happen when someone has no choice but to go deep into the place where they live and realize that they are there. I sometimes get rid of the crowd so you can hear my voice clearly. I separate the people who love you from the season you are going through sometimes. It's not that I want to hurt you, but what I'm doing in you needs conditions that human comfort would break. There was no punishment during the hiding season. It was for safety. I kept you hidden until the right time, so you wouldn't be seen before the formation was finished. I did this to protect what was being built from voices that would have weighed in too soon. And without enough knowledge of what I was doing, there is no forgotten or hidden type in the comments. My dear son, I want to tell you a story that you already know. But I want you to understand it in a new way today, because your life is more like the story than you may have thought. Someone named Joseph. He had a dream from me that showed him greatness, the specific calling I had given him, and the heights that were to come. And what happened after that dream wasn't right away fulfillment. After that, there was a pit, then slavery, then a false accusation, and finally prison. They kept Joseph in that cell for a year. He was forgotten. His brothers had lied to him. The wife of his master lied about him. Even the person he helped carry the cup forgot what he said he would do. There was no sound at all. There was a complete delay. The support from people was missing. From every angle, it looked like the dream had not only been put off, but also been destroyed. But here's what Joseph knew while he was waiting that no one else could see. The pit wasn't a reward. Prison was not leaving someone behind. It was getting ready. Joseph didn't need any more time to get ready when Pharaoh finally called for him. He had been honed in the dark, shaped in the silence, and formed in the hidden season by the exact pressure and waiting that made him into the person the part called for. And in one day, I moved him from the prison to the palace, from being forgotten to second in command of an empire. I didn't do it slowly or over a long period of time. It happened all at once because the plans were finished and the time had come. My beloved, your story is like this one. The delays you've been having were not denials. The closed doors were not turns down. They were God's protection. I didn't tell anyone about you until the formation was done. I was waiting for the preparation to finish before I opened the door that went with what the preparation made. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Says Jeremiah 29:7-11. We can trust these plans. In the pit, those plans were being used. They did things in the prison. Even though you couldn't see the palace from where you were standing, they were making the person that the palace needs. It was part of the test that people around you didn't understand. If mockery came, it was like a fire that made things better. The loneliness was an altar where your dependence on me grew stronger than your dependence on other people. That's what the palace needs. Someone who learned in the hidden season to be fully held by me when no other holding was available. Someone who doesn't need constant human confirmation to keep moving, or whose faith depends on visible evidence to stay steady. You became that person while you were waiting. And the next part of the story needs you to be that person. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me, because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Write how the pit was made in the comments. I want to tell you what's going to happen, but I don't want to use vague or pretty words that don't mean anything. I want to tell you what the planned time looks like when it comes, because the meeting I'm setting up for you at the last minute is not one thing. It comes in different shapes and sizes for different people. And I want you to be able to spot it when it does, so you don't miss it because you were expecting it to look like something else. Some of you will know I set up that conversation because someone, a stranger or someone who has been on the edges of your life, will say something so specific, so at the right time, and so clearly shaped to what you have been going through in private. Not because the words were beautiful, but because they were precise and hit you right where you've been holding something that no one else knew how to reach. That conversation won't seem like a mistake. You forgot to ask for confirmation because you didn't think it was going to come, but it will. For some, The meeting that comes out of the blue will be a peace that comes without a reason. You've been carrying weight for so long that it's become normal for you. It's changed how you feel about being you. After a while, the weight goes up without warning and without anything changing in your life to explain it. As it says in Philippians 4:77, a peace that passes understanding fills your spirit and won't leave. It's not a mood. That feeling will not go away. That's me meeting you where you've been waiting. For many of you, the chance meeting will open a door. Your feet stopped moving in front of the door because it had been shut for so long. A door you prayed about once and then quietly left because it felt like it was shutting for good. But I'm not late with my time. It is exact. And once I open the door with your name on it, no one's opinion, criticism, or assessment of your skills will be able to close it. Revelation 3:8 says, I have set before you an open door that no one can close. Type, I'll know about it, when it shows up in the comments. I'd like to give you something specific, my love. In your life, there are 3 signs that the change I'm talking about is already in progress. The appointed time is not far off in the future. It is already becoming clear in the present. These are not made-up signs. They are real, usable changes. A holy restlessness, which is a kind of unease that is different from anxiety, is the first sign. Stress means that something is not right. That this restlessness means something is missing is clear. Because you were used to being where you were. You used to be happy with it, even if it wasn't perfect. Now, there's something in your spirit that won't let you settle down, pretend, or go back to living at the level need for the old season. There's no way to fix that restlessness. It's me making your capacity bigger. Now that the old space is too small, you won't be able to stay there. Changes in your relationships are the second sign. People from the last season are moving on. Some leave in a quiet way, while others leave quickly, and you might want to go after what is leaving, to hold on to what is clearly letting go. My beloved, don't be sad about those deaths. I am making room. I'm getting rid of things that can't go with you. The people and relationships that would slow you down, the voices that would tell you not to obey, and the connections that fit who you were, but not who you are becoming. The space made by the departures is not empty. There's room for what's coming. The third sign is a presence that you can't quite describe. When you're still, there's a warmth in your chest and a quietness in your spirit that wasn't there before. It's not dramatic or overwhelming, but you can't deny that something has changed. If you feel that warmth right now, that soft settling in your chest as these words reach you, don't brush it off. That's not making up stories. That's the peace that comes when the formation is finished and the time has come. Please hold on a moment, my love. A person whose wait has been so long that their hope has slowly faded. Someone who is still in the middle of the hidden season, where the formation is taking place, but the appointed time has not yet come. It's possible that you know someone who needs to hear that the pit is not punishment and the prison is not abandonment. Please send this to them before we go on. This word should find them in the middle of what they're carrying. They might not be hearing what I'm saying today. Send it yourself. Also, plant a seed in this ministry if it has been giving you the word you need at this time. For those chosen, for those who are still waiting and need to find this word before they decide that the delay means they have been turned down, click on the link below or scan the QR code on your screen. Every faith seed grows into a word that reaches the right person at the right time. Listen up, my beloved. I want to talk about the people who saw you walk through the hidden season, but got the wrong idea from what they saw. People who put a label on you, called your preparation stagnation, said that the doors that were closed for the wrong reasons, and saw you endure and thought that that was the goal instead of the path. Some of them were sure they knew why you weren't moving forward. Some people pretended to be realistic advisors who told you to lower your hopes, be happy with what you had, and stop hoping for things that seemed too big. Some of them quietly turned away from you when your faith wouldn't shrink to fit their opinion. Some even went further and added their thoughts to conversations you weren't a part of, making up a small story about your season that had nothing to do with what was really going on in the secret place where I was shaping you. Listen to what I have to say about those voices, my beloved. What I saw was different from what they saw. They were able to see the outside of your season, the closed doors, the waiting, and the lack of progress that they could see, but not the inside. The stress and silence were making you stronger, but they couldn't see it. They couldn't figure out how much they needed me because they were alone all the time. When they looked at a process, they didn't have the eyes to fully understand it, and their conclusions showed what they couldn't see. Now the time that was agreed upon has come. What was hidden can now be seen. In the light, what was formed in the dark is coming out. Proverbs. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun. It shines brighter until the full light of day. The people who judged your process based on its appearance will see its results. Your people who told you to go to the pit will watch you leave it. The people who said the doors would never open again will see the door with your name on it open. Those of you who turned down the volume on what I put in you will hear what I put at full volume. That accounting doesn't have to be handled by you. I want you to just walk into what's opening, to be open to the meeting that comes up out of the blue, and to open the door without making sure that the people who said it was permanently closed are not watching. What they watch is their own business. Your walking is what you need to do. They can type below to see what God was building. My beloved, I want to talk to you about something that has been true about you for a lot longer than the waiting season. It was true before you knew how to talk about it, before you knew what your calling or purpose was, or what I was doing in your life. Even before theological frameworks and words like chosen or purpose, you always felt like you didn't quite fit in. You knew that what other people seemed happy with on the surface level was not what you were meant to do. You couldn't explain or stop your inability to settle for less. Even when the people around you told you that what you were feeling was unrealistic or that you needed to grow up, you kept looking for more because you couldn't settle for less. While other people were happy with what they had, you kept looking for what felt just beyond what you had, toward something you couldn't see clearly but couldn't stop sensing. You thought there was something wrong with you for years because of that trait. Like you were too much. Like the fact that you couldn't be happy with the ordinary was a flaw in your character, not a sign from God. My beloved, please hear this. You were never hurt. You were picked. What seemed like a curse, not being able to fit in, always feeling like there was something more, and restlessness that never went away, was not dysfunction. It was planned. Before you were born, I gave you that trait. It's a mark I put on you before you were born. The fact that it didn't fit was never proof against you. It showed that you knew where you were going. Because I was getting you ready for a different path, you were unique. And the way I was preparing you for needs the exact person that the hidden season made. Type: I've never fit because the comments didn't make me fit there. Now, my beloved, I want to talk about what you need to do to make the transition. The unexpected meeting, the door opening, or the appointed time won't happen to someone who is still trying to control what will happen. It doesn't belong in a spirit that is still planning, controlling, and trying to make things happen the way I already planned. Giving in is needed for what's coming. Giving up is not the same as losing. It doesn't mean nothing. No work is being done, and responsibility is not being taken away. Giving up control over the outcome and trusting that what I have planned is better than what you could have planned is what it means to surrender. It is the daily act of picking my knowledge over your fear. Giving up sounds like this. When you wake up worried about how the change will go, what it will look like, and whether you are ready. What will happen? I don't know, but I trust you more than I trust my fear. I give up control over how things will turn out. This is what surrender sounds like when someone who hurt you during the waiting season comes back to the surface and the old pain comes back. Here it is for you. I won't bring my anger into the next chapter because Colossians 3:15 says, "Forgive as the Lord forgave you." Forgiving someone doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It frees you, not them, to say, I will not let what was done define the person I take into what comes next. If you bring anger into the next chapter, it taints what you get there. When you forgive, you make room for more receiving. Giving up sounds like when the door you've been waiting for opens, and a part of you says, it's too late, you're not ready, there must be a catch. Thank you for setting up what you did. I'm not going to mess up what you have planned. I believe that the formation I went through was enough to get me ready for what is coming up. Type: I'd rather have peace than anger in the comments. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. As you learn to surrender, you build something. Because the blessing that is coming is important. You build up the spiritual strength to handle it without falling apart under its weight or warping it with fear. Not just in a general way, but in a way that matches the exact weight of what the preparation made. And to carry something important without being changed by it, you have to do the inner work that surrender does. Not to keep you from getting what you wanted, but to make you the kind of person who can handle it without letting it change into something other than what I intended. Now is the time to plant a seed for the chosen one, who is still learning to surrender during this very hard time, who still chooses to forgive when it would be easier to be angry. People who still trust, even though the evidence hasn't caught up with what they believe. Today, your seed is the word that gets to them just as they need to hear it. What they are doing is building exactly what the next chapter needs. Read the text below the link or scan the QR code that's shown on your screen. Plant it with faith and stay, my love. Because one of the lies you can tell during the waiting season is that the pressure was only cost. I want to talk about what the pressure of the hidden season really did to you. That what the hard times took away from you was greater than what they made you. Imagine a diamond before it gets so rare and expensive. It is carbon that has been buried deep in the ground for a very long time under very high pressure and heat. In the middle of the process, if that carbon could talk, it would say that the pressure is too high. It's too hot to stand. This is too much for me. In the middle of the process, though, the carbon doesn't understand that what feels like destruction is actually the way that things change. The stress is not a punishment. It has a purpose. That heavy weight would keep it from becoming what it was meant to be. Things would be the same without the fire. When the process is over, though, it turns into something rare and valuable that shines light every place. You are that diamond, chosen one. The pressure you've been feeling wasn't my rejection. From what you already had, it was the process of making something real and useful. Every hard time, every betrayal, and every season when you felt the full weight of what you were carrying was pressure, making you strong enough to face the world. For Job 23:10 says, "When he has tried me, I will come out as gold." The tests weren't meant to make you look bad. It was meant to show you what was really inside you by getting rid of what wasn't important and making what was left better. In addition, this gave you a certain kind of toughness that can't be taught by easy seasons. It's not that resilient people don't feel pain. It's being able to be in pain and keep moving, to fall and get back up, to face what would normally stop most people and find, not in theory but in practice, that you can handle it and keep going. That trait was formed in the hidden season, not by doing it, but by going through the exact situations that called for it and realizing that what you thought would break you did not. And you will always have that discovery in you. It's a certain kind of knowing that no one can give you by telling you. You can only build it by going through different seasons. I was forced to type in the comments. I'd like to talk about what the change to the next chapter looks like from the inside, my beloved. Because changes don't feel the way you think they will when you've been waiting for a long time. As you wait, you might picture the change as a single dramatic event, a single moment that clearly alters everything. And sometimes it does come with that clarity, but most of the time it starts out more quietly. You almost didn't notice a door open because you stopped looking at that door. You almost didn't have a conversation because you weren't sure it was worth having. And you had a very quiet impression that you might have written off as wishful thinking if the long season of hiding hadn't trained you to hear the still small voice. The unexpected meeting is on its way, and the fact that it's coming from somewhere unexpected makes it even stranger. Not from the direction you were looking, not through the channel you had planned, and not in the way that your own breakthrough plan called for. I work with things that can't be seen, because if you could see them coming, you'd try to make them happen. Your help would get in the way of how I have set it up specifically. Joseph, who said he was ready for the palace, wasn't really ready because he could see the palace coming. He was ready because the prison had made him into the kind of person the palace wanted. It was part of the testimony that the promotion came as a surprise. The speed made it clear that what happened was mine, not his. The same sign will be on your unexpected meeting. When it gets here, you'll know it was mine because you couldn't have planned it. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says that he made everything beautiful at the right time. Part of the beauty of the appointed time is that it is right on time. The exact timing of when it comes. The exact match between the formation that finished in you and the moment the door opens. When you look at the time, you'll see that I had to finish what I was doing with you before I could do what I had planned for you. Type my time in the box below. Before the last prayer, I'd like to talk to someone who is standing at the door. Who can feel that the old season is ending, but can't quite make out what the new one looks like? Who is standing with one foot in the past and one foot in the future? And who needs to be told again that the threshold is not a place to stay, but a place to pass through? I see you there, and I want you to go through. As an act of faith, plant a seed in this ministry. The threshold is a door, and the door is opening. For the chosen ones who are still standing at theirs, for those who need to hear this word right now. Read the text below the link or scan the QR code that's shown on your screen. Planting a seed at a threshold is a faith move that what's on the other side is better than what's here. Please take this, my beloved. As I close, you're not behind schedule. We haven't forgotten about you. You are not disqualified because of how long you had to wait or how hard the formation was. There will be a holy shift from the season of proving to the season of fulfilling, from the hidden to the visible, and from the formation to the expression of what the formation produced. The weight you carried while you waited is about to go away. Not because you worked hard and earned the replacement, but because you kept your faith, even when you couldn't see. And that faith has shown that you were ready for the appointed time to come. Get ready. Do not harden. Stay true to God. That's how I work. So be ready for the meeting that comes from a direction you aren't looking at. In the unseen through the planned, the formation is finished at the exact moment. 1 Thessalonians 5:24 says that the one who calls you is trustworthy and will do it. I called you before you knew what was going on. Because of this, I have been shaping you through every season. What I start in a person, I finish. Not because of how well you did, but because I was loyal. The time has almost come. My beloved, the surprise meeting is set up. The door with your name on it is already moving. You just have to be ready to receive it. When it comes, without running it through the story you made up about why it wasn't coming. Heavenly Father, you are the one who keeps track of the days of the formation and sets the exact time. We come to you carrying the full weight of what was said today about the chosen one, who has walked the hidden season without praise, without visible confirmation, and without anyone who could fully explain what the formation needed. We are told that the time here is coming to an end. Not death, but change. Not leaving, but making an appointment. Let go of the fear that the delay means denial. We let go of the anger that being alone made us want to feel. For the first time, we let go of our tight grip on the ideal way the breakthrough should happen. We're ready for an unplanned meeting in any way you've planned. We're sure that what was made in the secret place is just what the next chapter needs. We cross the line, not with our own certainty, but with yours. Greetings from the one who took Joseph from the prison to the palace in just one day and will finish what he started. Yes. Let this word reach the part of you that has been holding the hidden season. Then send it to the one person who is still waiting deeply, who can't see the change coming, and who needs to hear today that the pit is not punishment and the palace is already set up. Let this word be what gets to them at the right time. Loved ones, God bless you. Everything here is ending, and what's beginning is bigger than what's ending. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.